What is up, champions? Jake Parker here, and it's been in 10 incredibly long seasons, but I finally hopped back into Apex Legends with Season 20's breakout, and there's just so much that I'm excited to talk about. If I had to sum it up, Apex Legends Season 20 feels almost like an entirely brand new game, and that's an extremely good thing to say right now. It seemed like the last 10 seasons have been nothing but an anger fest, with any discourse about Apex being focused on cheaters, game imbalance, stability issues, and I gotta be honest, it's that same discourse that kept me away. But jumping back into Apex after 10 seasons away, it's almost as if I'm playing Apex Legends again for the first time with a fresh set of eyes to see a vastly different perspective. And even though Apex technically still is the same game, it brought with it a vastly new quality of life that only a large break from the game would allow a person like me to look forward to enjoying. The gameplay loop of the Battle Royale mode feels completely different with the new Evo Shield system, and this is by far my most favorite change to Apex entirely. The fact that everybody starts off on an equal playing field and their endgame is fully determined by how they play and not just what they find early on, it makes what you do in the match much more meaningful, as it's no longer about who loots the best drops and more so how you build your character. The fact that I never know if an opponent expanded their abilities or simply reduced their cooldowns makes every single engagement so much more exciting to rush towards, while also knowing that I'm not immediately going against a fully gold or red Evo Shield 2 minutes into a match. Your strength as a champion is now tied to how well you play, and that's just a wonderful feeling to have. The balancing to weapons and new weapons in the sandbox just feels so good to use now compared to 10 seasons ago. Every weapon feels like it has a viability at any stage of a match with very little outliers at any time, and kitting your weapon actually feels like it provides more advantageous opportunity. It was also a bit more of a shock to learn how sub-mods like Digital Threat were altered to only work with 2 weapon types compared to prior seasons, but the feeling of learning as I go made playing Apex even more the sweeter. Crafting is, well, it's completely different to say the least, but in a much more balanced way with a focus on returning to fights rather than camping for hours on end like prior seasons, which I always felt completely defeated the purpose of Apex's fast action movement that made the game so popular to begin with. I've seen a lot of discourse about how crafting is essentially too easy and not the same as it was before, but that's exactly the point. Crafting from prior seasons became the easiest and almost sole way to become the most powerful champion in the lobby, and that threw off the entire premise of the game's design. The new crafting system is balanced in such a way that it's quick, supports your engagements, and puts action first and above all. I was extremely bummed to discover that arenas were removed from the game, as it was a mode I personally did enjoy casually playing. But hopping into the different modes such as Straight Shot or Gun and Run did still provide me a fun and unique experience compared to the BR counterparts. The UI has vastly expanded, and aside from the Battle Pass Anniversary Pack section, which are a complete dumpster fire to be honest trying to navigate, it was freaking awesome to see the expansion to the champions and the weapons in the game's menu screen. I can easily see what abilities my champions unlock at each level, so for me it was easier to experiment with how I wanted to find and play during matches. While the expansions to weapons and utilities means that I'm no longer just using a weapon, but I'm using a weapon now with purpose. Unlocking weapon levels and trials for each weapon changes the way that I play, and frankly that's a huge quality of life improvement, as now I have more incentive to use variable weapons more often compared to just clutching 1 or 2 weapons that I personally know how to use. And lastly, the map designs are the perfect blend of old design to new design, where routing still felt exceedingly similar as I remember from prior seasons, yet enticing to see the changes for myself. My only biggest gripe overall was that King's Canyon was no longer in rotation, but I mean, that's inherently by design, and I'm confident I'm going to be seeing it very soon anyways, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. Overall, Season 20 has checked all of the right boxes and hit all of the right notes for a player like me who has found everything to love about the game, and no matter how many times I keep dying trying to remember how to freaking aim, Apex Legends Season 20 has simply been a joyride of an experience, and you can bet I look forward to logging in and enjoying with each time that I play. Thank you so much for watching, YouTube, and if you like this video and look forward to more Apex and gaming content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to know when my next video will be live. Thank you for being the reason that I get to do what I do, and until the next video, game on.